Hey, everybody, welcome to the Simplify Church podcast. We are so excited that you are here with us. And as always, I am joined in the studio with Mike Whittemore. I am so excited to get to hang out and talk just a little bit. And we've got some, we hope helpful things for you to take away from the show as we're looking toward Easter, the Super Bowl of church life. And so we're hopeful to give you a couple of takeaways about some follow-up and making the most of your Easter weekend experience and being able to follow up with folks and connect and engage them at a deeper level. And so I'm super excited about what that conversation is going to look like. But before we jump in, we're going to take just a moment and check in. So Mike, how are you, my friend?
All right, listen, I got to just from the gate, we got to talk about something.
All right, lay it on me.
Did you see the trailer? The sneak peek trailer for Beetlejuice 2?
I did not.
It's out.
Okay.
That's right. The sneak peek trailer, folks. And it looks really fun. And it's a trailer, so there's no spoilers on a trailer, right? But it's super cool because at the end of the trailer, when Beetlejuice appears, and he's standing there, and he goes, "That's right, the juice is on the loose." Yes. The juice is on the loose. So I am super excited, man, for Beetlejuice 2. I can't wait to go see that when it comes out. So it's just, man, right now between Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, a lot of stuff going on. It's a healthy dose, healthy serving of nostalgia cake making its way down the buffet.
Hey, I get it, man. I was over the weekend in Chicago, and so did a little fun exploring one afternoon, and took my daughter, who was with me, to the Lego store. And I think
that's fun.
I think I had more fun at the Lego store than she did, because here's the deal. They have all of the Star Wars stuff. So like they got the giant Millennium Falcon. They have a Chewie.
Oh,
which I really wanted for my office.
Yeah.
But I did not buy because he was like $150.
Tax write-off, right?
Exactly. But tax write-off. But not only did they have like the Star Wars stuff, they had the DeLorean.
Oh yeah, I have that.
You have that one?
I sure do. Yes, sir.
Is yours the Technic one that the wheels move and it rolls and stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, mine was the $170 one.
Okay, this was the what do they call it? I can't remember what that line is called. Mechanic or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Where all the parts move and you can actually, push it and those kind of things. The doors open, all that kind of stuff.
We get it. It's better than mine. We get it, Greg. Move on.
Okay.
Gosh.
But then
he just says okay.
But then there was more.
Yes.
They had the Indiana Jones.
Oh,
stuff.
That's fun.
They had the Jeep and the airplane. From
the plane.
Yeah. Dr. Jones. Hey, lady. But so I had lots of things that I was like trying to decide what to buy. And then I ended up buying my daughter something instead. And she was happy, but you
didn't get anything for yourself?
I didn't, because I couldn't decide.
Well,
and so, it was hard. But they also had this ginormous, it was like a life-size Stormtrooper. It wasn't for sale, but it was one of their displays. And I thought, okay.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how many hours go into something
That's
like
right.
that?
What nerd spent like 3 years building that?
I think they're called master builders. I don't think they're nerds.
Yeah,
okay.
But
yeah, look at you. Well, spade's a spade. So yeah, I like that, man. Just subtlety.
But there you go.
The subtlety of Greg's saltiness is so good.
It is. But then it caused me to, I'm gonna probably have to order at least one of those sets.
Yeah, you need to. It's pretty cool, man. I've got Thanos's gauntlet. From the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
Cool.
They had that one too.
Yeah, that one's cool.
They had the Sorting Hat.
Oh yeah,
from Harry Potter, and it actually talked. I thought that was super cool.
Oh, that is fun. If you're into like devil worship, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, well, all of those are Disney movies now.
That's true.
And if we're good Baptists, we're anti-Disney, or at least like when I was growing up, we were. I wasn't, but like they made you feel bad if you watched Disney movies and stuff. I don't know.
Well, that's the way it goes, my man.
Anyway,
unfortunately, yeah. Just walk away from that real quick.
That's right. It made me want to buy a set and then watch the movies whilst assembling the toys. Because
that's cool. I'm glad you had a good trip.
Yeah, it was good.
That's fun. So you just up doing a little shopping, a little serving, a little hanging out.
Yeah. I had a blast. Got to lead a team of a handful of folks from our church to go serve with one of our partners, and got to take took part of my family with me. So that was fun.
Yeah. So the whole crew didn't go.
No. The younger two got to stay with grandparents.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it was good.
That's fun though, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm heading down to Louisville for a day or two this week. So Louisville area. So I'll be down there working on some stuff. So pretty excited about that. Little family trip. Will be good. Right. Do a little bourbon hunting whilst in the area, when in Rome.
Hey,
but man,
trail.
That's right. I on the trail, baby. I'm excited for this weekend though, man. This is it. Like you said, it is Super Bowl. It's game day coming up, Easter. And I don't know what Easter looks like over in your neck of the woods, but I know that for a lot of churches, this is such. Obviously it's an important day for all of us, but in terms of attendance, in terms of like really capitalizing on new faces and new people and new relationships, man, it is such an incredible opportunity for that. And it's so much more different than Christmas. Christmas feels like it's, you're up against the tradition of it. You're up against the family. You're up against this, really this overarching idea that is just it feels like it's really difficult to leverage into an invite back to your church, even though like we've talked about that, it is certainly not impossible, and we've given resources and ideas on how to do that. But Easter feels very different. Easter feels like that it's an opportunity because folks will come to church, they will visit, and maybe at a place in their life where they're ready for a next step. Yeah. So I do appreciate that. What does Easter look like for you guys?
So we'll do Good Friday service.
Okay.
And then we'll do 2 worship gatherings on Sunday morning. And we'll probably see about twice as many folks on Easter as we would normally see.
Wow.
At least that's been the kind of the norm. And so we're hopeful for that. We're hopeful to see a really good response to both of those. We've kind of put in a good bit of effort to engage and invite our community to our Easter gatherings, and so we're hopeful that we'll see a good response there. But yeah, like you say, it's a different group of people generally.
Yes.
Who will come on Easter who don't than those who come on Christmas. It might be some of the same people,
right?
But it's not all of the same people.
Yeah, it's a different crowd for sure.
And yeah, I do think it lends itself a little more easily to those moments of, hey, there's stuff that in your life that's broken.
Yeah,
it's hard. That's whatever description you want to use. And to be able to say, and in this moment, Jesus is the one who he can't just magically change everything in your life. It's not going to happen that way.
Right.
But he can bring healing, and he can walk you through the pain and those kind of things, and being able to have those conversations way easier, I think, at Easter time than at Christmas time. What's a baby going to do for me? And I know that sounds super callous and super hard, but I think for people who don't do church, that's a real question.
Yeah, and it does it feels like Christmas is a little bit more about the tradition of hope and how it's woven in. Even if you're a church that does Advent, or you've been a part of kind of those more traditional liturgical elements, but yeah, it feels more like just like a cartoonish hope at times for non-believers. Just like, oh
Right.
yeah, that's a version of hope that maybe I don't have, or I haven't been able to achieve, but I can certainly appreciate the sentiment. It's a very nostalgic kind of holiday, so it carries so much of that weight. But Easter, man, is an opportunity to be confronted with the reality that God has come, and that he has lived among us, and that he died, and that he was buried and rose again. And so now we're dealing with a lot more of people have questions and skepticisms, and looking for evidences, looking for truth, and then trying to reconcile their life against that story. So Easter definitely, I think, presents in a whole different ballgame. And so, man, I think for a lot of churches, they're going to be just like you, man. I think they're going to have a lot of people showing up, maybe for the first time or haven't been in a long time. And now we've got to figure out, how do we follow up with them?
Yeah.
Right. How do we rightly capitalize on this opportunity? Because I think that gone are the days where people show up on Easter, they have a great experience, and then the assumption being that, well, hey, we're kicking off a new series next weekend. We'd love to have you here.
Right.
And then we just expect them to show up.
Right.
I think it's harder now. I think it's harder to see the conversion for people to come on Easter, and then just have an expectation that they'll show back up.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do about that?
So I think there are a couple of things that we really try to double down on in our connections with guests around the Easter holiday. The first one is we want to do almost anything that we can do to get them to fill out a Connect card.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's hard to do, but it's important.
It is. And here's the thing. Like, I know there are lots of schools of thoughts about what should be on your Connect card. Should it be a physical card? Should it be a digital card? What should it be? Here's where we've landed. We do a digital card, and it has 3 questions. It's their name, an email address, or a phone number.
Yeah, that's good.
Those are the only 3 things that we want to know in that moment. We just want a way to be able to follow up with you.
Yeah, just say thanks for coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that ours is set up, church pastor, church leader, if you use something like Planning Center will send them an email as soon as they click go. That automatically says, hey, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, it's super easy.
You can make that where it's just automatically happening, and it's nothing extra on your plate. And that's a touch. And then somebody else can send a text message later, or another email, or if they'll give you your address, their home address, man, figure out a way to go by and see them, make those connection points. But we do whatever we can do to try to leverage those Connect cards and get people to fill those out.
Yeah, because it's hard to follow up when you have no ability to follow up.
Exactly.
So making the most of your Easter follow-up is, and to your point, man, first and foremost, is creating an opportunity for connection. Yep. And so listen, by the time that you hear this episode, there's still time. There's still time to try something different. And I don't care if you do a physical Connect card. I don't care if it's a tear off or an insert in your bulletin. Right. I don't care if it's digital, and you can, seriously, like maybe you don't have Planning Center. Maybe you don't have some of these kind of like online based services. Go to Google, create a form, right, drop that form link into a QR code, double check it, make sure it works, and then put that QR code on a screen, or print it out in your bulletin. And people can just fill out a quick Google form. Is it perfect? Is it super clean? No, but it's a way to gather information.
Sure.
When you feel like, man, I don't even know what some of these services are, but whatever it takes to get it.
Another one, and we push this hard regularly, but especially around the holiday seasons, your people who are running check-in for your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, they got to fill out the stuff anyway to get the kid's name in there. Make sure you get mom and dad's name, or grandma and grandpa's name, whoever brought them, and some way to contact them. It not only is that safety buffer of, hey, we need you to come check on your kid because they've fallen and they're, we had to put a Band-Aid on, or they're unconsolable, or whatever. You need a way to contact them. So double down there. Make sure that you get that information. If they're a guest and they trusted you with their kid, not only, okay, make sure you take good care of their kid, but then somebody follow up with them that next week to just say, hey, we're so glad that you were here. Thanks for being here. We loved having your kid. Little things will be huge. Another thing that I think is super important is ensuring that you have people who are strategically in. If you have more than one service on Easter, make sure that especially you've got people in each of your services who will go out of their way to meet people that they don't recognize.
Oh yeah, that's good, man.
To go to connect with them and just say, hey, I'm so thankful that you're here. Because here's the reality, Pastor, you probably don't have time to stop and greet every guest as they're coming in first thing on Easter morning.
Right.
You might get to greet them as they go out at the end of service, and that's great. But if somebody else has already greeted them and has chatted with them for a little bit and got to know them a little bit and said, okay, well, I'm so glad that you're here. If there's something I can do to help you, just please grab me and I will help you. Whether that's find a place, to connect, where's the bathroom, whatever. Have those kind of people in your service who know that, hey, part of your job this morning is just to greet new people.
Yeah, having connectors be connectors is it's so subtle and it sounds really silly and almost like elementary, but it's not. Like, it's really, really important. And like, even this week, you can send a text to 3 or 4 folks, give them a call. Hey, you're really good at connecting people. Can I kind of place you in the lobby? Can I place you in the auditorium just so you can walk up and meet new folks? You have natural connectors in your church. And so
leverage those folks.
You have to, especially on a weekend like this, because it is the small thing that wins in the end.
Yep.
When it comes to follow-up, it's not always having this incredibly polished procedure. Like, and don't get me wrong, processes matter, and having a system for this so that process can flow, that matters. So like in the long term, this will bite you if you're not moving toward there. But right now, like, it doesn't need to be super polished. It just needs to be authentic.
Yep.
It needs to be honest. And so putting people that are connectors in position to connect is huge. Gathering information for people so that you can follow up is huge. And let me just kind of circle back on that, bro. Like, here's the other thing about following up with people. It only works if you actually do it.
That's it.
Because I'm telling you, man, I don't know how many times I've heard over the years be like, oh, they're visiting or whatever. I'm like, oh man, thanks for visiting. They're like, yeah, we visited a few churches in the area. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, how's that been going for you as you're looking for a church to fit and stuff? And they're like, yeah, it's hard to get anybody to call you back or like to answer you or to email you back and stuff. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, like we just, we visited this place over here. We were there a couple of weeks. We filled out a card and we just never heard anything. And even sent an email from their website, never heard anything. Like, I just can't even tell you, man, how many times I've heard that story over and over again. And it's like, that's it. Like, you want to know why people may be leaving your churches because they don't hear from you.
Yep.
So you have to actually follow up. So I think having even if it's messy, but just having a way to gather people's information, actually follow up with those people, connect with them, talk to them, answer questions. I think making sure you have connectors connecting is really big. And I think that this is the one I'll throw, man, at here as we kind of wrap up, because we're making today's episode a little bit shorter, if you haven't noticed, because we know that this is a busy week for everybody and we want to give you some time to implement some of these things. But I think, and this is a hill that I'll definitely die on, that I think is super critical for
lay it on me.
Easter follow-up, is you need to have a clear, low barrier next step for your people. When they show up on Easter, what's the next thing you're asking them to come to? And hear me say, if it can only be that you're starting a new series, that's fine. Like, sometimes that's just the way that it is. I get that. But what I'm saying is, this is such an incredible time of year to have a low barrier next step. Maybe it's a connection event where it's an opportunity for people to get together. Maybe you're gonna have music on your patio. You're gonna do something in your yard games. There's gonna be a Memorial Day party coming up, whatever it is. Maybe you've got some big event, family event coming in around Mother's Day. Invite them to come to that. having some sort of clear next step opportunity so that people know that, man, if they want to know more about this church, but they're not quite ready to start visiting on Sunday mornings, here's a thing I can come to next. It also communicates that you have things regularly going on in the life of your church that you want people to come be a part of. And so one of the things that I love to do around this time of year is coming out of Easter is offer a low barrier entry for people who are either rediscovering their faith or who are curious about faith. And so using a resource like Christianity Explored is a great resource for this. It's like 6 weeks. I mean, it's 7 weeks, but you can do it in 6. It's a 6-week, 1 hour to an hour and a half, small group time where no questions off limits. Nobody's got to be the biblical scholar in the room. It's video driven. You get a participant guide. It's super cheap. And all you need is 2 or 3 folks that are just good connectors to sit around tables to help people facilitate and process through some of these core basic foundational beliefs that Christianity holds. And it's easy, right? Coming on Easter, you're new to church. Maybe you got questions. Maybe you're rediscovering your faith. Here's a cool next step for you. 6 weeks. We're going to offer it on Sunday night, Wednesday night, Sunday morning during a small group time, whatever, a resource like that. But something, you need some sort of connection opportunity, a next step opportunity for people. Does that make sense? You picking up what I'm putting down?
It does. And I think, anything that you can do that is that easy buy-in spot, even if it's something like, hey, we're getting ready to serve the community on this day.
Love that. Serve opportunities are huge.
If you'd like to come and connect, we would love for you to do that. Maybe it is, hey, we're starting a new connection group or a new life group or a new whatever.
Yeah.
Come and connect. We're just wanting you to get to feel like you can be part of something. And I think that's huge. And I think the other thing that I would throw to that, have a next step to ask them to come and be part of whatever that thing is. But I think then the other thing is, don't just one and done it.
Yeah.
Like, follow-up is more than one thing.
Yep.
It's going to take multiple touches for someone to really, really connect. I don't know what it's like at your church right now, but at our church, on average, it takes about 3 or sometimes 4 times for someone to come as a guest before they will fill out a guest card.
Yeah. I think that's on par with the national averages, man. And I think it's going to vary culturally, like where you're at, but people are a lot more. It's those days are over, man, where somebody shows up the first time and they're like, I'm home.
Right. Exactly.
No, man, they need more time, and
they may need more touches on the backside after they trust you with a way to contact them.
Yeah.
Once they've made themselves known to you, they may need more touches. So don't just one and done it.
And that's even after they've spent how much time trolling your Facebook page,
exactly,
your Instagram page, your website, your YouTube presence. This is it, gang. People they need more time. They need more opportunity. They need more clarity now than ever on what to do next. Because everyone's competing for their attention and competing for their affection and competing for their loyalty. And here we are, we stand as ambassadors of Jesus with the most important message and the most important job in human history. And so you don't think we're going to have to work for it a little bit? It's nonsense. We're going to have to work for it. So even if it's messy, get after it this week. Okay. Make the most of your Easter follow-up, create those opportunities, get your connectors engaged, actually follow up with people, give them a clear next step. And I promise you, you're going to have a mess of people on your hands that are new to your faith family and are looking forward to getting involved. So these are just some simple, easy next steps. Listen, we're just dudes in the trenches, right? We've been after this for a long time and trying to figure out how best to serve you as an everyday pastor and everyday leader, definitely in the trenches. A couple things you could do to connect is, you can always email us, it's pretty simple, podcast@simplifychurch.com. Always love to hear from you. You can rate and review the show. Hit us up on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Man, doing that really helps the show. We're running an ad right now on Facebook. And so if you come across that in your feed, make sure you share that, letting other people know that you're a part of the Simplified Church family. And also knowing that like everything that you're doing as a church coming in this time of year takes money, it takes resources. And we'd love to be able to come alongside you at Simplified Church, because we do accounting, bookkeeping, man. We make online giving simple. We do these things to help you, outsource the things that tend to overwhelm you in ministry, so you can be freed up to do the things that matter. But you can always head to our website and learn more about that. But man, we are for you. We are in your corner, Pastor, and can't wait to celebrate with you. Hopefully Easter is just incredibly fruitful and it's a blessing, and we'll see you soon. Greg, my man, you have a happy and blessed Easter, brother.
You too, my friend.
I hope you get some Legos, man, or something. Golly, something in the Easter basket, maybe.
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
Anyway. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
So I got something cool to show you.